So, good morning, ma'am. This is my report about National Building Code of the Philippines, PD 1096. So, mo din isumpay sa report ni Bangay. So, this Rule 8 or Chapter 8, Light and Ventilation. So, this section 801, General Requirements of Light and Ventilation. So, mga requirements. Una, subject to the provision of the Civil Code of the Philippines, easements of the light and view, and to the specific provision of the code. Every building shall be designed, constructed, and equipped to provide adequate light and ventilation. So next is, all buildings shall face a street or public alley or private street which has been duly approved. So, kung magtao day kag light and ventilation, so kailangan naka-face siya sa kanang street, public or private. So kailangan yun nakatubang sa street. 'Di ba, like sa mga building kanang mga hotel nga na. So kailangan yun ay. Then measure of site occupancy in section 802. So in section 802, measure of site occupancy, the measure of site occupancy or a lot occupancy shall be taken on ground level and shall be exclusive or courts, yard, and light wheels. And court, yard, and light wheels shall be measured clear and projections from the walls enclosing such wall or yards, with the exemption of the roof leaders, wall coppings, seals, or steel fires escapes not exceeding 1.2 meters width. So, muna siya ang pag-measure of site occupancy. Next is section 803. The section 803, percentage of the site occupancy. So mo ni siya, percentage of occupancy or PSO, then maximum allowed impervious surface area or ISA, then maximum allowed construction area or MACA, and minimum unpaved surface area or USA. Then total open office space within lot or TOSL. So mo na din ni ang pagkuha, di ba? Building structure use or occupancy, land or use, then percentage of total lot area or TLA. So mo din ni ang pag-base. So mo na siya ang pagkuha tong sa kanang percentage of site occupancy. So note na siya, note nga, per duly approved city municipal comprehensive land use plan or CLUP, then per duly approved city approval zoning ordinance or ZO and its IRR, then PSO plus ISA equals MACA. So kabala naman siguro unsay meaning ana diya MCCA, kaya meaning kay maximum allowed construction area. Then the PCO plus TOSL equals TLA or total lot area. Then without firewall or with firewall. So mao na notes sa percentage of occupancy in section 803. Next. So mo din ni siya day ang pag-compute sa percentage of site occupancy computation niya kay total lot area length times width, then allowed maximum building footprint length 2 times width 2, no, then maximum allowed percentage site occupancy, so AMBF divided by TLA. Then pagkuha sa maximum allowed impervious surface area is sum of all open area with impervious surface. Mo na siyang pagkuha. Then maximum allowed construction area or MACA. So ang pag-compute is PSO plus ISA. Diba? Then maximum allowed AMP5 surface area. So ISA ang pagkuha equals sum of all open area with AMP5 surface. Then the last one is the maximum allowed construction area or the MACA. So ang pagkuha is USA times ISA. Ba? Ana siya pag-compute sa percentage of site occupancy. So kailangan din computation. Next is Section 4804. Section 804. Size and dimension courts. So, this section is minimum size of courts and their least dimensions shall be governed by the use, then type of construction and height of the building as provided in the rules and regulation and promulgated by the Secretary. Then provide that the minimum horizontal dimension of the court shall be not less than 2.00 meters. So mo na siya. Kita naman, di ba? The all inner courts shall be connected to a street or yard either by the passageway with a minimum width of 1.20 meters or by the door through rooms or rooms. So na siya gilayon nga 1.20 meters minimum width. So the yard, ang requirement sa yard is open space left between the outermost face of the building structure and property lines or front, rear, right, and left side. So muna yung sa table, minimum setback residential building structure. Ba, makita ang table. So note, na siya na nga, total setback only at grade or natural ground level 3 meters plus 5 meters equals 8 meters. So abutments of two sides and rear proper lines may allowed with conditions as enumerated under section 804, and mixed use building structures in R5 lots shall be considered commercial use or occupancy if substantial percentage. So 55% of the gross floor area is commercial. So muna siya. Muna ang minimum nga requirement sa size and dimension of a courts. Muna siya sa kanang sa table. Then sa table 2 to, then sa table 3, so setbacks for commercial, industrial, institutional and recreational buildings. So muna siya sa table, front, side, rear. Denote mixed use buildings structures in R5 lots may considered a commercial development if a substance presence of the GFA is commercial. So maurag gyapon sa kuan sa table 8, table 2 na. So mo nang section 4 size and dimension of courts. Mo rin siya open courtyard in case conflict in the provisions of light and ventilations under rule of the undercode or the more stringent restriction must reveal. So mo din siya sa street. Kita mong gurong table. Hanap lang. Nara. Kita mong gurong manang sa balay. Kailangan na siya 1 meter. Because yard. Mo ni siya. I mean 3 meter din. 3 meter. Na. 3 meter. Then gilayon sa silbi. Sana. Pader. Na siya tag 1.5 meter. Kailangan day. So next, section 805, ceiling heights. So, habitable rooms provided with artificial ventilation shall have ceiling heights not less than 2.40 meters measured from the floor to the ceiling, provided the buildings are the more than 1 story. The minimum ceiling height of the first story shall be 2.70 meters. So, mo na siya minimum heights, di ba? And that for the second story, 2.40. So, kailangan minimum 2.40. Ang first kay 2.70. Succeeding story shall be have an obstruction difficult headroom clearance if not less than 2.10 meters above finished floor. Then, above stated room with natural ventilations shall have ceiling heights of not less than 2.70 meters. So, mezzanine floors shall have clear ceiling height not less than 1.80 meters above and below it. So, mao na siya ang kinahanglan sa ceiling heights in section 805. The next is section 806, size and dimension of rooms. So the minimum size of the rooms under last horizontal dimensions shall be followed. So mo ni siya, rooms for humans habitation. So gi-provide nga 6.6 square meters with at least dimension of 2 meters. So mo na ang gikinahanglan sa rooms for habitations. Then kitchen. So gikinahanglan nga 3 square meters with at least dimension of 1.50 meters. And the bath and toilet, so nanginahanglan og 1.20 square meters with at least dimension of 900 millimeters. So mo gyud ni ang gikinahanglan sa size and dimension of the rooms, di ba? Mo ni sa section 806. To sa section 807, airspace requirement in determining the rooms. The size of rooms, sorry. Then minimum airspace shall be provided as follow. Then gi-provide sa school rooms nga 3 cubic meters with 1 square meter of floor area per person. So buong yun ang gikinahanglan sa school rooms. Then so workshop, factories and offices kinahanglan og 12 cubic meters of airspace per person, and the habitable rooms is 14 cubic meters of airspace per person. So mo gyud ni ang gi-provide sa section 807 nga airspace requirements in determining the size of the rooms. So mo ni mga requirements gyud sa mga rooms, school, workshop, factories, office and habitable rooms. So next, section 808, window openings. So, window openings. Rooms shall be provided with a window or windows with a total free area of openings equal to at least 10% of the floor area of the room, provided that such as opening shall be not less than 1 square meter. So, mo na ang requirements. So, window opening. Then, sa toilet and bathrooms, laundry rooms, sa mga kusina, shall be provided with window or windows with an area not less than 1 or to 2 to 20 or floor area of such room, provided that such openings shall not less than 240 square millimeters. So, mo yun ang i-provide sa window openings sa toilet, rooms. Then, the last is the eaves or canopies, awnings, or media agua over requirement windows shall not less than 750 millimeters from the side and rear property lines. So, mao na siya ang gi-provide sa window openings in section 808. Next is the section 809, vent shafts. So, the ventilation of vent shafts shall have a horizontal cross-sectional area of not less than 1 square meter for every meter of height and shaft, but it no case shall be the area be not less than 1 square meter. No vent shaft shall have at least dimension less than 60 millimeters. So, mo na siya ang requirements of vent shafts. Next, section 809. 8010 day. Ay, apa dito yung sumpay day? Balik. Apa din na yung sumpay sa vent shafts. So, the requirements na siya yung requirements sa skylights. So, sa skylights, unless open to the outer air of the top full area, vent shafts shall be covered by a skylight having a not free area or fixed lower openings equal to the minimum requirements of shaft area. Then, the last one is air ducts. Air ducts shall be opened to a street or court by the horizontal duct or intake at a point below the lowest window opening. Then, such ducts or intake shall have a minimum obstruction cross-sectional area of not less than 0.30 square meter with a minimum dimension of 30 millimeters. So, the opening shall be duct or intake shall be not less than 300 millimeters above the bottom of the of the shaft and the street surface of a level of court and perspective ends of the duct or intake. So, muna ang requirement sa vent and shaft sa ventilations, skylights, and air ducts in section 809. So, ari na tata sa section 8010, ventilation skylights. So, the ventilation skylights shall have a glass area not less than that requirements for the windows that are replaced shall be equipped with movable sashes or louvers with an aggregated net-free area not less than the parts in the replaced window that can open or else provide artificial ventilations of equivalent effectiveness. So, mo na siya ang ventilation skylights requirement. So, section 811, artificial ventilation. So morning requirements sa rooms or space housing, industrial or heating equipment shall be provided with artificial means of ventilation to prevent excessive accumulation of hot and or polluted air para di siya init kayo, dali ra kayo dali ra kayo siya sudlan og so gani sa mga kuan mo na siya. Then whenever artificial ventilation is required, the equipment shall be designed and constructed to meet following minimum requirements in the air changes. So for rooms, nag-require sila nga above grade and used for office, clinical or administrative purposes, or as storage, sales room, restaurants, markets, factories, workshops, or machinery rooms. Not less than 3 changes of air per hour shall be provided. So kailangan sila mag-change sa air katulo so sa oras. Then mo man siya minimum requirement sa nga kuan sa apartment, bunk space na changes per hour, then ceiling height. Kita man di ba? Yeah. So muna yan siya, guideline of easements, views, corridors, sites, lines, street roads, right of way, arrow, sidelines, arcades, basements of lots, publication structure. So muna siya ang guideline. Allowed or encouraging structures development within easements. So, if a wider than 9 meters, the easements may include roadway, carriageway, components on which vehicles can pass, or on which same with temporary park or is plane of the like. So, makita man sa table, di ba? Location of water body. Now, mo na siya. Pedestrian accessways and likes. To locate above at below easements with development public. So mo na siya. Sidewalk. So ang sidewalk dai na siya nanginanglan nag-required siya nga 1 meter yagyod. Then sa agianan sa mga truck expandable siya nga 5 meters. Then sa promenade and plant strips, so mga kanang bench ana nanginanglan og ay nag-required siya nga 3 meters, no? So mo na siya ang explained development for easements of at least 9 meters wide. So mo yun ang requirement, di ba? Then the allowed structures developments include hardscape, pedestrian accessways such as walks, footpaths, arcades, then temporary movable hardscapes elements such as gazebos, shades, fountains, then softscape developments such as park strips, linear parks, and like as small tree farms are encouraged for recreational livelihood and soil stabilizations protection purposes. So mo na siya. Then the view of corridors and or sight lines, dakas building. O din siya. View of corridor sightlines from the building structure or higher or lower lot shall not be entirely blocked by the intervening property to allow some sight lines to exit. So kailangan gyud nga ni front yard, kailangan makita ba ang sa unahan, important view, significant build, natural structural formation and the like. So mga ni siya, sidewalks, the minimum with sidewalks with more tong ingon 9 meters or shall be 1.20 meters on each side of a row, or total of 2.40 meters on both sides. So mo siya magigan gini na requirement nara maning required sidewalks. Sa plans kailangan og kuan nanginahanglan ra siya og 0.80 meters. Then sa sidewalk yun kanang igaanan sa tao kuan 1.20. So manang total sa sidewalk nga 2 meters wide, 2 or more. Next, the design of the public building structure. So mo ning general, the structural character of the public building structures must fully express the nature of their function, use or occupancy, and should reflect their identity as public building structure. So public building structures should be designed for permanence but with maximized flexibility to allow for future adjustments in their uses or occupancies. Muna siyang sa public structure ang general niya. So use of natural light and ventilation by means of proper orientation, cross ventilation, convection, sun control devices and like should be maximized. So muna siyang sa general design of public building structure. So site development, location and orientation, site drainage, grading design, vehicular and pedestrian access and circulation, then site utilities and services. So ari na ta sa rule 9 sanitation or the chapter 9